Hello everyone, welcome to the Ozark Outpost. This is Global War 1914 Operation Hamel, the British Empire in the summer of 15. Okay, first thing we need to do is tech. We're going to change it up this time. We haven't been getting any results. So we're going to try defense in depth at a 7 and improved factories also at a 7. And we missed defense in depth, but we did get improved factories with a 12. So that's stage 1 of improved factories. At least that's progress. Okay, now we took a territory last time, southern Iraq, so we get a free diplomacy roll for that. And then we're going to pay for one. And what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to roll back Bulgaria and Chile. They're both at stage 3. So, green will be Bulgaria, blue Chile. Oh, needed 2s. We got a 3, but that won't do it. We needed 2s. Okay, no joy there. Okay, here's our purchase. We had 37 pounds in the bank. We're spending all of it. We're doing 3 infantry for 9. We are doing, I've got 4 colonial infantry in that stack for 8. We're going to do a colonial upgrade for 2. We're going to buy a Gurkha, that's my British guy with the red base, for 5. We are going to buy a camel for 4, a cavalry for 4. We spent 1 on diplomacy, and then there's 4 for 2 more colonials. That all adds up to 37. Okay, combat. It's going to be just a little bit, not too much. We've got our 2 artilleries there in Picardy. They're going to do attrition attack on Belgium. Then move the French cruiser out of the way. There we go. Zoom a bit. And tilt over here. One thing about the big map, sometimes it can be a little challenging to get everything in a shot. Okay, there we go. These 2 cruisers and this predreadnought. The predreadnought has a movement bonus from the Madagascar Major Port. We're going 1-2 spaces over here to attack the German cruiser raider in A54. Here, now we can tilt back down kind of more like normal. Zoom in a bit more. Okay, here in Africa, we've got from Rhodesia 3 colonials and an artillery going to attack German East Africa. From Eastern Belgian Congo, we have 2 colonials and an infantry that are going to join the attack. There is a land bridge connection right there along the edge of that lake. And then from British East Africa, we have another colonial that's going to join the attack. The Germans have an infantry and 2 colonials defending, no terrain. And that is it for combat. So, Let's do the attrition first. 2 artillery, rolling 1s. There is a 1 back under there. Look at that shit. Okay, Knights Templar told me that he would take infantry as attrition casualties over here, and I've got the guys on the card here. So we take 1 infantry off, leaving him with, looks to me like 19. So there we go, one attrition casualty. And then next, we will do the attack on the cruiser raider in A54. So we've got 2 cruisers and a predreadnought. Predreadnought attacks at 7. Fractions are generally rounded up in this game. So we're going to have 2 3s and a 4. There is a 1 for a hit. So the German cruiser raider is dead. He rolls in defense. And he also rolls a 1. See it back under there. So come around like this here. That guy comes off. He's on the bottom of the ocean. Predreadnought and a cruiser, and 1 cruiser is sunk. So there's that. Now we're going to have the land fight in Africa. I don't think I need to use the battle board. So let's go from bottom to top. So we're going to, well, first of all, see here. First of all, we got an artillery. That missed with a 6. Okay, so I guess we're going to go from top to bottom. So now we've got an infantry at 3. Miss. And then we've got 3, 5, 6, 2, 4, 6 at 1. And believe it or not, we hit 2 of them. So that'll be the 2 colonials. So 2 colonials defend. They both miss. 12 and an 8, you can see there. And the infantry. Okay, he hits with a 4. So he loses his 2 colonials. I lose 1 colonial. Okay. Now we're going to do her again. Artillery. Okay, that's a 4. That's the other hit we needed. Now his infantry defends. He gets another hit. Okay, so come over here. Back out just a touch. That guy comes off. Get that out of the way. Put that on there. And then we've got an infantry in here, an artillery. And 3 and 2 is 5. Get the right territory there. 5 colonials. Okay, British go up 1 to 38. Germans go down 1 to 34. This is no longer blockaded. And I believe that's it for combat. Yeah. I believe that's it for combat. Okay, now non-combat. Try to straighten up. Okay, I hadn't assigned these guys yet because I wasn't sure if I was going to need them to maintain the blockade on German East Africa, but I don't. So, the submarine and the 2 destroyers and cruiser from I-13 are all going 1, 2, 3 over here to I-4. Hang out in the Gulf of Aden. Okay. I completely forgot about him too. The destroyer from I-12 will come 1, 2, 3 up into the Red Sea at I-5. Okay, the transport here in I-3 is going to strategic naval move over there to P-69. The artillery in Sydney is going to rail out here to West Australia. Okay. Up here, we're going to do 1 colonial infantry is going to move over to Eastern Egypt from Western Egypt. But for right now, I'm going to leave him there to make it simpler when I place units. So just remember, this guy in Western Egypt, non-combat moved over to Eastern Egypt. Then up here in the Med, the seaplane, take your cap marker off him, forgot about that. The seaplane from Gibraltar is going 1, 2, 3 spaces over here to land at Malta. The coastal sub from M2 moves 1 space to M4 to join the French. And that's it for there. Just looking around, trying to make sure I don't forget anything. Okay. Up here, okay, I've got the fleet that was here in A21 has gone in port at the major port on the Midlands, and I've moved them to that card right there. The 2 transports that are in A21 are going to bridge 4 infantry from the Midlands to Normandy. And then they are also going in port with the rest of the fleet. The 3 infantry in London, after I get done knocking everything over, are going to move 1 space out here to the Midlands. The cavalry in the Midlands is going to move 2 spaces up there to Scotland. And I believe that's it for non-combat. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to place units. So we got 3 infantry going into London. And then come down here. Zoom in just a touch. Okay, we're going to put we're going to put a colonial in Eastern Congo. We are putting a colonial in Rhodesia. We're going to put cavalry in South Africa. Up here, remember this is where I said I was going to make it easy on myself. This guy moved over to Eastern Egypt. I put a colonial in there to replace him. I'm going to upgrade a colonial from there so everything stays the same except we add an infantry to Eastern Egypt. Then over here, Hamel goes into southern Iraq. Over here, we've got a colonial into Calcutta. We are adding a colonial to southern Persia. Now let's make sure I got my count right. I bought 6, 8, and 4. I bought 6 colonials. Let's see. Eastern Congo, Rhodesia, that makes 2. Western Egypt makes 3. Calcutta makes 4. Southern Persia makes 5. I do still have 1 left. That's what I thought. He is going into Bombay here. And then this should be the last thing. The Gurkha is going into Punjab. Either General Hand Grenade or Bob, either one. If that's not correct, let me know. The rules did not specify that Gurkha had to be built with a factory. So I'm doing it that way. If it's wrong, let me know and I'll make changes. The other thing I keep forgetting to do, which means I'm going to have to change. No, I'll be all right. Bob Hatcher pointed out to me a few days ago that I had made a mistake by bringing a cavalry over here to Kuwait, because cavalry are no good in desert. So, and I keep forgetting to change that. So that cavalry, I believe, came from Bombay. He's going to go back there, and there will be colonial infantry in Kuwait instead. So there's actually only one colonial there instead of two. All right, I hope that made sense to everybody. Like I said, sorry about that. Like I said, I kept forgetting that I needed to make that switch. All right, I think that is everything has been placed. So let's do a quick disposition since we did make some changes. We'll just start right over here. We added a colonial infantry to Calcutta. Bombay is now one colonial and one cavalry. Punjab has one Gurkha. Southern Persia has two colonials. Southern Iraq has 6 infantry and artillery, a colonial and a camel. Kuwait is one colonial. Captured German East Africa. It has 5 colonials, an infantry, and an artillery. Eastern Congo has 1 colonial. Rhodesia has 1 colonial. South Africa is now a colonial, a cavalry, and 3 infantry. In I-4, we have a cruiser, 2 destroyers, and a submarine. In P-69, we have a transport. In A-54, we have a predreadnought and a cruiser. On Malta, we've added a seaplane. And we moved a coastal to M4. Up here, Scotland has a militia and a cavalry. There's 3 infantry in the Midlands, 3 infantry in London. In port at the Midlands major port, we have 2 transports, a cruiser, 4 destroyers, 3 submarines, 1 coastal submarine. The coastal came from A4, and it has a bonus there, so it was able to make the 2 hops down there. Oh, I forgot a couple. From A28, the predreadnought and cruiser are coming up to A21 and also going in port. So there are those 2 additions. Now I have a predreadnought and 2 cruisers, and then the rest is still the same. And I think that's it. So now we need to collect some money. Let's get some stuff out of the way here. The British are currently at 38. And we're going to do our wartime economy. We got a 5. I think that's what we got last time. So 38 and 5, I believe, will make 43. I think that's what it was when I was in school. 43. Ozark Outpost. One last quick look around. Over and out.